evening. I'd like to call the May 7th, 2025 regular school board meeting to order. Invocation by Ms. Valerie Bourgeois, District 6, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance.
Heavenly Father, we praise and thank you for another successful school year, as class will come to a close in a few short weeks for this current school year. Give us your grace so that we may effectively do our part as public servants and lead this district with confidence and unity. May your love surround us, your peace calm us, your shield protect us, and your wisdom guide us. We ask all of this in your holy name. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Yes, Madam Chairman. Mr. Wright.
Here.
Dr. Gia. Ms. Babbitt.
Here.
Ms. Fertitta.
Here.
Mr. Duplantis. Ms. Bourgeois.
Here.
Mr. LaFont. Here. Ms. Wells.
Here.
Ms. Sharpenshire.
Here. Item 2, awards and recognitions. The introduction of the new administrators, Mr. Martin.
Absolutely. With us tonight, and I'm excited to announce the new principal of North LaRose Elementary, as well as we have in attendance the outgoing principal of North LaRose Elementary. But tonight, we celebrate Miss Amber Guidry. Miss Amber Guidry, stand up. Ms. Guidry has spent her career all over the place. She has been from one half of North LaRose Elementary School to the other half of North LaRose Elementary School. So please share a few words, Ms. Guidry.
Yes, I am truly honored that Mr. Martin and Ms. Hudson and Mr. Lee have given me the opportunity to bless me with leading North LaRose Elementary School, which is a school that's near and dear to my heart, because not only have I taught there my whole career, that's really awesome. So it's definitely close to my heart. And this all cannot be without Ms. LaBeouf. She was an amazing mentor, has always believed in me, showed me the way, and I have some big shoes to put on. I hope I do that. Also, my support, the best teachers, staff, students, and family, they've all believed in me and supported me throughout my journey. Wonderful family, my husband, and my kids, they were always supportive of every journey I had throughout my career.
Congratulations.
Item B, the Blue Star School District student, staff, and group recognitions. Mr. Martin. Oh, excuse me, Ms. Bolton.
Ms. Bolton.
Welcome to the awards portion of our monthly board meeting. It is a privilege for us to be able to recognize our students and staff who are doing great things and just being recognized for their exceptional achievement. I know these last few weeks of school, there's a lot of things going on, a lot of things that are competing for your time. So we appreciate those of you who were able to make it tonight. As your name is called, Mr. Dalcombe is going to call your name. You'll come up and receive your award from Mr. Martin and Ms. Fertitta, and then you'll turn to me and I'll take a quick picture of you, and then you can return to your seat. So we'll get started with Mr. Dalcombe.
All right. First recognition is for some teachers. The API Delta chapter has awarded 2 LaFouche teachers for various reasons. These were winners selected based on their commitment to teaching, their resourcefulness, their professional involvement, and community service. They were recognized by the organization recently, and we'd like to recognize them once again tonight. The first teacher being awarded from Thibodeau High School, given the Distinguished Teacher Award, Ms. Carla Broussard. And also, from Raceland Middle School, receiving the Chairman's Award, Miss Amber Gautreau. All right, these next students that we're going to recognize, I've been here since 2018, and up till this year, we've had only one student in those years reach this mark, and then all of a sudden this year we had 3 students achieve this very rare feat of receiving a perfect score on the ACT exam, which is extremely difficult to do. The first student with a perfect 36 is from South Lafourche High School, Drew Como.
We did put you on TV and everything.
I know.
The next student to be recognized, also from South Lafourche High School, Nathan Dean. And from Central Lafourche High School, Brylan Parkhill. All right. This next student was recognized or was selected by the Louisiana High School Athletic Association and placed on the composite all-academic team from South Lafourche High School in the sport of golf, getting ready to attend the University of Loyola in New Orleans on a golf scholarship, Mr. Jude LaBeouf. All right, these next group of students was also placed on the LHSAA's class all-academic team. I'm going to go through these names. We have a lot from Central Lafourche tonight who are also tied up at an award ceremony.
Central Lafourche's award tonight is tonight. That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, I promised Mr. Hill did tell him about the award. So I'll read their names and I'll try to speed it up a little bit since they've been not here. From Central Lafourche High School, track and field, Caden Adams. From Central Lafourche High School, track and field, Reese Champagne. Benjamin Hodson, track and field, Central Lafourche. Caleb Neves, Central Lafourche High School, track and field. Haley Rivera, Central Lafourche track. Emma Terrio, Central Lafourche track. Caitlin Burden, Central Lafourche track. Then we have from South Lafourche High School in golf, Jonah Otan.
Strongest looking golfer.
South Lafourche High School track and field, Kobe Boudreaux. South Lafourche golf team, Bennett Bourgeois. South Lafourche track and field, Bo Gidry. Salvatore Salvatore Golf, Dax Gidry. Salvatore Golf and Track and Field, Weston Gidry. Salvatore Track and Field, Estrella Rivera. Civil High Track and Field, Tyron Brooks. Civil High Track, Lawrence Bangaro. Civil High Track, Madison Jarrett. Civil High Track, Jacory Plazos. Civil High Track, Reese Prevost. And Thibodeau High Track and Field, Ajay Randolph.
All right, well, that, I think, concludes tonight's presentation. I just want to say how grateful we are to be able to spend time with your kids, how grateful we are for the teachers that make their accomplishments possible. So you guys are doing a great job raising them. We appreciate the work that they've done. I've gotten to know some of these kids personally, and so it's really cool to see their accomplishments. And you know, as we send the seniors off, we keep seeing the same kids over and over again, and all these things. It's a testament for how well rounded they are as athletes and scholars. So thank you, teachers. Thank you, students. Thank you, parents. We have an exciting meeting, but in case you want to go eat somewhere, you're absolutely allowed to stay off now if you'd like to. Thank you all so much for being here.
Three, approval of minutes and observances, proclamations. A, to approve minutes of the regular board meeting held on April 2nd, 2025. Do I have a motion? Ms. Holtzclaw, second, Ms. Sharpenshaw. Any public comment? Any board comment? Please vote. Approved. Item B, to approve minutes of the board member in service held on April 16th, 2025. Moved by Ms. Babin, second by Mr. Wright. Any public comment? Any board comment? If not, please vote. Motion carries. Item C, to approve Minutes of the board meeting member in service held on May 5th, 2025. We have a motion, Dr. Diot, second by Ms. Wells. Any public comment? Any board discussion or comment? If not, please vote. Motion carries. Item D, to approve observances in the Lafourche Parish Schools. Teacher Appreciation Week, May 5th through the 9th, 2025. School Nurse Appreciation Day, May 7th, 2025. National Police Week, May 11th through the 17th, 2025. Motion, Ms. Bourgeois, second by Mr. Wright. Any public comment? Any board comment? Please vote. Motion carries. Item 5, approval of business committee recommendations as per meeting held on Wednesday, April the 16th, 2025. Ms. Charpentier. Wait. Oh, I am so sorry. Excuse me. Item 4. Motion along. Memorial resolutions. A. Ms. Anna Key, retired school technology assistant. Ms. Babin.
Anna Key was hired by the Lafourche Parish School District on January 18, 1995 as a paraprofessional at East Thibodeau Junior High School. In October 2007, Ms. Key was appointed as the school technology assistant at East Thibodeau Middle School. Ms. Key retired on August 31, 2020, having served the Lafourche Parish School District for 25 years.
B. Ms. Helen Abair, retired child nutrition technician. Ms. Wells.
Ms. Helen Abair was hired by the Lafourche Parish School District on August 31st, 1971 as a child nutrition technician at La Rose Cutoff Middle School. Ms. Abair retired on January 4th, 1990, having served the Lafourche Parish School District for 19 years.
Item C, Mr. Herbert Toots, retired supervisor. That's me. Mr. Herbert Toots, everybody knew him as Herb, our coach, was hired by the Lafourche Parish School District on September 5th, 1950, as a teacher at Galliano Elementary School. On October 9th, 1950, Mr. Toots was granted a military leave when he was drafted into the United States Army for the Korean War. Mr. Toots served our country until his discharge in January of 1953. Mr. Toots returned to Lafourche Parish Schools as a PE teacher at Bayou Blue Elementary School in February of 1953. During his career from 1953 to 1973, Mr. Toots held the positions of teacher, coach, and guidance counselor. In 1973, Mr. Toots was promoted to the school administration and served as an assistant principal at Thibodeau Elementary School. He later served as principal at Thibodeau Elementary School and St. Charles Elementary School. In November 1980, Mr. Toots was promoted as the supervisor of transportation for the district. Mr. Toots had a long, successful career in our Lafourche Parish schools, and he had lived a long life, and we appreciate his service.
I'd just like to say that I think Mr. Martin and I were noticing that he had the privilege of and honor of having been retired after serving for 30 years. He was retired for 40 years in his retirement. So that's a life well spent.
I move that these resolutions be adopted by general consent and that a copy of the resolutions be recorded on a special page of our minute book.
With no objections, let the record reflect that these resolutions were adopted by general consent and will be recorded on a special page of our minute book. Now we'll move to item 5. Approval of business committee recommendations as per meeting held on Wednesday, April the 16th, 2025. And that would be Ms. Charpentier in place of Mr. Duplantis.
Thank you.
Item A, to adopt the millage rate resolution for rates that apply to the 2025 assessed rolls.
And that is not Kathy, you're gonna read that for us?
Be resolved that the following villages are hereby levied on the 2025 tax roll on all property subject to taxation by the Lafourche Parish School Board. Constitutional, 3.68 mils, millage key 1047062. Air conditioning maintenance, 7.59 mils, millage key 1047070. Retirement obligations, 2.03 mils, millage key 1047097. Safety, 4.05 mils, millage key 1047099. General maintenance, 7.59 mils, millage key 1047063. Salary supplement, 7.59 mils, millage key 1047069. Debt service, 14.1 mils, and that consists of 721 2007 proposition at 7.05 mils with millage key 1047068. 421 2012 proposition, 0.85 mils with millage key 1047096. 429 2017 proposition, 6.2 mils with millage key 1047100. Be it further resolved that the proper administrative officials of the parish of Lafourche, state of Louisiana, be and they are hereby empowered, authorized, and directed to spread said taxes as here and above set forth upon the assessment roll of said parish for the year 2025, and to make the collection of the taxes imposed for and on behalf of the taxing authority according to law, and that the taxes herein levied shall become a permanent lien and privilege on all property subject to taxation as herein set forth, and collection of thereof shall be enforceable in the manner provided by law.
Thank you very much. We have a motion by Ms. Trowbridge, second by Ms. Babin. Any public comment? Any more discussion or comment? Please vote. Motion carries. Item B, to author, I'm sorry.
Item B, to authorize advertisement for bids through the purchasing department for frequently purchased equipment and supplies for the upcoming 2025-2026 fiscal year. So moved.
Thank you. Ms. Bourgeois, second. Any public comment? Any board comment or discussion? Hearing none, please vote. Vote tonight. Motion carries. Item C.
Item C, to award the highest scored, most responsive and responsible bidder, JS, held as the emergency environmental service provider for the district. So moved.
Motion, second by Ms. Babin. Any public comment? Any board discussion or comment or questions? If not, please vote. Motion carries.
Item D, to award the lowest, most responsive and responsible bidder, Grand Isle Shipyard, for 57 limestone at $56.92 per ton and 610 crushed limestone at $54.23 per ton. So moved.
Second by Mr. LaFont. Any public comment? Board comment or discussion or questions? If not, motion carries.
Item E, to authorize the superintendent to enter into an agreement with First Services First Student for routing services for a 3-year period in the amount of $203,999. So moved.
More public comment? Yes, ma'am. Please, step forward and tell us your name, your address.
My name is Tammy Rivera, 300 Osiris Highland Drive, Louisiana, in Mighty Blue. I'm a bus driver, and I know that I came to the business meeting, and I know that's dealing with the routing stuff. Have y'all ever considered maybe possibly just training some of the drivers maybe to do as a side job instead of just paying another company to help input the data? Because I know that's what they talked about in this meeting. So that was just my one comment, is maybe look, instead of continuing with that service so expensive, look into that.
Thank you very much for your comment. All right, any other public comment? Any board discussion, questions? Hearing none, let's vote. Motion carries.
Item F, to approve the recommended revisions to the 2024-2025 salary schedule as presented by Ms. Chastity Hemel, Business Manager. So moved.
Okay. Any public comment? Any board comment on this? I would just like to say that we thank you, Ms. Chastity, for helping us to get this in place, and of course the superintendent. And this is going to be exciting. All right, go ahead and please vote. Motion carries. Moving on to item 6. Approval of Land and Facilities Management Committee recommendations as per meeting held on Wednesday, April the 16th, 2025. Mr. LaFont.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. Accept the change order request for various changes to the scope of work in the sum total of $60,210.17, plus a design fee adjustment of $4,056.57, for a total contract adjustment amount of $64,266.74 at Golden Meadow Middle School buildings 4, 5, and 10. So moved.
Thank you, sir. Ms. Sharp-and-Chase, Mr. LaFont, second by Ms. Sharp-and-Chase. Any public comment? Any board comment or discussion or questions? Hearing none, please vote. Motion carries.
Item B, to accept a change order request in the sum of $583 to purchase and install the project information sign for the LPSD bus yard facility project. So moved.
Second, Dr. Diot. Any public comment? Any board discussion, questions? Please vote. Motion carries.
Item C, to accept the change order request in the credit sum of $4,500 to omit hydronic installation repairs for the Golden Meadow Lower Elementary School and South Lafourche High School Hurricane Ida repair project. So moved.
All right, any public comment? Any board questions or comments? Please vote. Motion carries.
Item D, to accept a low bid from PCO Construction Company Incorporated with a base bid of $314,000 with design fees in the amount of $35,195, a total project amount of $349,195 for the Hurricane Ida miscellaneous repairs at multiple campuses. So moved.
Second. Well, any public comment? Any board comment, discussion? Not, please vote. Motion carries.
Item E, to name the field at the intersection of Cardinal Drive and East 7th Street in Thibodeau, the Luke Ford Jr. Field. So moved.
I'd like to second that one. Any public comment? Any board comment? Yes, Ms. Babin?
So I want to go ahead and just say that I really appreciate the fact that this is done so nicely. I know that Mr. Ford was a big part of Lafourche Parish School District. He was the principal at Thibodeau High when I was a student there, as well as when I started teaching in my teaching career. He was an observer, and I came into my classroom to, do whatever the observation tool was at the time. But I didn't know that he was such an important part of E.D. White as well and their organization. And after the conversation with Mr. Martin today, it just really struck me as this was just a really great way to bring our two programs together since we have come to this agreement on this piece of property. So thank you guys for doing this. This is wonderful. I'm sure the Ford family's really happy to have this happen. He's just the right person to name it after.
Just a feedback. He was a true icon in this community. He really was in so many ways. This is a great way to honor him and his family.
I had the honor of working with him. He was my boss when I worked in the Title I federal programs, and a very compassionate person. He loved education, but he loved being part of the community. He served on the Nichols Alumni Board for many years. He was very, very involved in the Lions Club and many other organizations, and he's been honored in the parish and in the city and in the parish many times. So this is a great honor for him. Thank you. Yes,
I just
ma'am.
have a quick question. I wasn't at the meeting. Are they going to erect a sign or something for this?
Yes. And they also put a nice little dark colored fence, not iron or whatever it was made of, aluminum fence around it to keep people from parking on it.
Oh, okay.
And they're going to use it for track and field. Oh, yeah, there it was. Track and field events. Oh, it was. Yes. And then they got a picture with a little fence, proposed fence. But it will be fenced off because I know, I like that. That's true. Okay. Any other comments? Hearing none, then please vote. Motion carries.
Item F, to approve placing 2 concrete pads and adding a 4-foot black aluminum fence around the leased property at the intersection of Cardinal Drive and East 7th Street in Thibodeau. So moved.
It is, okay. Second by Ms. Babin. Any public comment? Any board discussion or comment? Yes, Ms. Babin?
So I also want to say that I'm really glad that we came to a good place with this. I know that when it came up with the EDY proposal, we went kind of, not back and forth, but we had a lot of discussion about it. And it really makes me happy that we're going to be doing things that it can be used by students, whether ours or theirs, and that it won't be any permanent structures that would cause any concern to the green space.
Mr. Martin, whatever your name is.
Right, I forget sometimes myself. But Madam Chairman, I would like to say that I was in conversation with the President, Mr. Tim Robichaud. He is going to be contracting a tree service provider to clean and just lift the trees up a little bit to make access to the property a little bit better. And I thought that was obviously a worthwhile endeavor. Right now, of course, these old trees, they'll have branches that hang and get really low. We're just picking them up so that kids can walk through the area and not hit branches. So we will see that activity. Just want to alert it to the residents.
Question about the sidewalks in that area. That can get redone because just looking at the picture,
They're in bad shape.
yes, that would have been my comment for
They're in bad shape. I think that's city sidewalks, and we're going to have to coordinate. I'm looking at John. He's confirming.
That's the city that provides those, and we're in contact with.
For fear of getting too far off topic, because I do think it's all connected. The sidewalks along East 7th and along Cardinal and along whatever the next street is that I don't know off the top of my head. Once we pull up all the culverts and we're finished our civil work and we're not quite done yet, I want to work with the city to get all the sidewalks around the middle school correct. Because right now we have spots where there actually aren't any on the other side of the school.
Any other questions, comments? Hearing none, please vote. Motion carries. All right. Number 7, new business. Dr. Dion.
Item A, to accept a change order request for the additional steel channel needed for the gymnasium repairs in the sum total of $13,193.22 and add 14 days to the project at Golden Meadow Middle School. So moved.
Second, Mr. Openshade. Any public comment? Any board questions, comments? Yes,
She
sir.
may be in this new business that did skip committee. Maybe John could explain
Good idea.
really briefly.
A quick explanation, and thank y'all for considering this. PCO is the contractor. He's working, doing existing steel work that was required as part of the IDA recovery to get it up to code. And on the outside of the gyms, we discovered that there was steel missing from there. This keeps it going. He's there, he's ready, he's in place. We get this approved tonight. Tomorrow I call him, the steel's getting put up. So it's the reason for bringing it tonight, and I appreciate the consideration.
Good, thank you. Any other, any public comment? Any board questions? Yes, ma'am.
Just want to say for the record, really happy to see progress happening and happening at a nice rate of speed at Golden Meadow Middle School, much needed and much anticipated.
I know the community is real happy with that too. Hearing no other comments, please vote. Motion carries.
Item B, motion to accept bid from Flour Bakery Company as the lowest bidder, meeting all specifications for bread, class 1, new dairy, OPCO, Gordon Dairy, as the lowest bidder, meeting all specifications for milk and milk products, class 2, Gold Star Foods, also known or doing business as Pond Foods and Lacasine Incorporated, as the lowest bid received from the recommended vendors for food products, food classes 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and Economical Ascension Paper Products, Jam Pack LLC, and Fungi Brothers Wholesale Incorporated, as lowest bidder, meeting all specifications for the purchase of janitorial and paper products, class 11, to be used for the 2025-2026 school year. So moved.
Ms. Bourgeois, I think Ms. Fletcher, do you have any comments?
Questions?
Okay, any public comment? This is something we do every year. Any board questions or comments? If hearing none, please vote. Motion carries.
C, to accept the low bid from Joe's Septic Service, meeting all specifications for the cleaning of grease traps for the 2025-2026 school year. So moved.
Second from Mr. I'm on the end. Mr. Wright, I'm sorry. My brain just went off. And Ms. Fletcher, do you have any comments for that?
I think only one correction. In the note that said there was one vendor, there were two vendors for that particular bid. Minor correction.
Thank you. Any public comment? Any board comment or questions? Hearing none, please vote. Motion carries.
D, motion to select the Daily Comment as the official journal for the Lafourche Parish School Board for the period of July 1st, 2025 through June 30th, 2026. So moved.
Second. Ms. Babbitt, okay. Ms. Martin, any comment?
No, ma'am, just that this is a legislative approval.
Any public comment? Any board questions or comments? Please vote. Motion carries.
E, to appoint Mr. James Bouvier, replacing Mr. Tony Dewey, to serve Board of Commissioners, the Board of Commissioners of Special Education, District Number 1, to serve the remainder of the term expiring May 22nd, 2025. So moved.
Second. Ms. Hall? Any questions? I'm sorry. Mr. Martin, you have any questions?
No, ma'am, the Board of Commissioners has submitted a resume for Mr. Bouvier, and my recommendation is to appoint him to the board as they request.
Thank you very much. Yes, sir.
I just want to thank Tony Dewey for his number of years of service on the special education district. There for a while.
Any public comment? Any other board comments? Please vote. Motion carries.
Item F, to approve creating a new organizational structure, including the creation of a chief academic officer, executive director of operational services, and retitle other positions as presented by Mr. Byron Hendrick at the May 5th, 2025 board in service. Additionally, to authorize the superintendent to create the associated job descriptions and advertise the positions once completed. So moved.
Motion. Second. Ms. Bourgeois? Any public comment? Ms. Martin, you want to discuss this with us?
Absolutely. As was discussed at length Monday, and literature's been handed out to the board for about a week now. This will give us the opportunity to be more responsive to our schools. It is the duty of this office, this building, and the leaders of this organization to be responsive to principals so they can be responsive to teachers and support the efforts of our teachers as they educate our kids. I think that this new structure does exactly that. It will make us more efficient, more able to respond to problems effectively, and focus the efforts of our departments where it needs to be. So I'm in favor of the recommendations that Lean Frog has made, and we've worked very closely with them over many months to arrive at this formula to fit our unique school system.
Do you have any public questions or comments? Any board questions or comments? Yes, ma'am, Ms. Bouchard.
I just want to say that the in-service Monday was very enlightening, and I want to thank you for being so thorough in their research and in their analysis of our district, going out into other parishes and doing some research that way. So I think they did a great job, and I thank them for being so thorough.
The report was very, very thorough, and it just shows that this is definitely going to make us more efficient and give everybody's job a little bit more of where they can concentrate on certain specific areas. So it was a very, very good presentation. Any other comments? Hearing none, please vote. Motion carries.
Item G, to approve the newly created salary schedule, generate a new system of calculating pay through daily rates, and to amend the pay to various positions throughout the district as presented by Mr. Byron Hendrick at the May 5th, 2025 Board in Service. So moved.
Second by Ms. Sharpenshape. Mr. Martin and Ms. Chastity, you want to talk to us about it?
Absolutely. I'm excited to present to you a new salary schedule for the upcoming school year. This represents a step in the right direction for our school system, and it prioritized two initiatives. The first initiative is competitive classroom teacher pay. That was our probably first, second, and third priority as we set out to accomplish this. And the third, or I should say fourth priority, after the first three being teacher pay, was to right size all of our positions when compared to industry and peer averages. Our vendor Lean Frog was able to come in and conduct analysis throughout all of the various school systems in our region, both frankly here and the region throughout the Southeast. And arrive at industry standards for these positions, and we're moving many of our positions much closer to those regional averages. And so some positions are moving more than others. That is a unique thing for this institution to do, because historically we have all moved one step at a time in one singular direction, and that has created some inequity as it relates to position compensation. And so to right size that, all of this work has been done and is presented to you in the attached salary schedule, which is many, many pages long. One of the things that I'm very happy that this new salary schedule has in it, aside from the pay adjustments, is a very transparent method of illustrating what the pay for everyone is. We have a page for every employee category where one can clearly see how many years do I have in this given field, what is my educational attainment, and then you can see the associated salary range there on the chart. We're going to be paying from year 0 through year 40, and we have gone from a very soft increase in pay. Some of our job titles had an increase in pay over the span of their career that was 8%. So from year 0 through year 40, pay would increase prior to this by 8%, the industry standard being 41%. So we're now going in a completely different direction by prioritizing our folks who have been not only with us for 20, 30, and 40 years, but in this industry for 20, 30, and 40 years, and prioritizing the skills that they've developed along the way. Prior to this, teacher salary schedules would increase by $300 a year. Now, the first-year teacher is going to increase by $400 a year, and our veteran teachers will increase by $500 a year. We have continued to prioritize graduate programs for our employees, and so teachers will continue to receive the highest pay for a master's program in the region at $4,700 a year. And that will make this new salary schedule much more competitive as we both recruit and retain our teachers. I will close with, as happy as I am with the product, we're not done. I will be coming back to this agency year after year with every dollar that we can afford to increase employee compensation. This is a very competitive market, and we have to keep the best people in our school system. And we will not enjoy the extreme riches that we've had in this parish of being at the top of the state in almost every metric. So that's my presentation to you. It is my appeal to approve this and my commitment to keep bringing back to you increases year after year as we can afford it.
The only comment that I had is we had a few other changes, and one of the changes, well, not a change, but with this approval of the salary schedule, you are also authorizing a one-step increase for this fiscal for working this the next year. And employees are going to be moving back to their years of experience so that they now match the salary schedule. When Act 1 was implemented, we had employees who were employed a 5-step bump, and so now everyone is going to be placed back on their years of experience so that they can easily see in the salary schedule where they fall. There's no question as to where they are at on that salary schedule. I also wanted to include a statement in there that should we receive funds from the Louisiana Department of Education for differentiated pay, that money would be used for the performance-based stipends like we have in the past. They require us to generally state that, so I'm kind of proactive with that. Also, there were some changes to coaching in clubs. We are increasing the middle school athletic director to 0.07. We're adding the middle school track and field assistant coach with an index of 0.035. We're increasing the high school tier 2 head coach to 0.09. Increasing high school cheer and dance team to 0.116. Increasing the high school JV cheer 0.85 index. Increasing middle school cheerleader and dance team to 0.05. And we're going to remove the CSEP salary schedule, which was a salary schedule used for part-time coaches or non-certified employees, and they will be paid based on step 0 of the teacher salary scale with these indexes. And then we're going to adjust the long-term certified substitute teacher. Generally, they have to work the first 10 days with a prior authorization at the certified sub rate of pay, and then on the 10th day they get $180. And so we're just going to start at $180 as long as they have the prior approved authorization for them. And those are the other changes that we have.
Madam President, would you let Mr. Delphine put him on the spot to explain the logic behind some of the coaching changes as well? Because I do think that's worth mentioning.
Right, and we didn't get a room.
Okay, that's good. I'll try to remember all the issues listed that we can talk about. So, cheerleaders and dance team sponsors at both middle and high school have traditionally been paid more like a club sponsor and less like an actual coach. Whereas, for example, basketball season in middle school takes place from November to January. These cheerleader sponsors are working through the summer, through camp. They're preparing and showing up and cheering at every football game. And then when football season's over, they go straight into basketball season. So these sponsors were working nearly year-round. So we raised them to a level on par with the head coaches, high school for high school, middle school for middle school. Additionally, the dance teams, which our dance teams do just as much as cheer, the dance team was being paid less than cheer, so we made that equitable at the same time as well. On the high school level, the tier 2 sports, that percentage was actually less than most of the assistant coaches at the high school. So we put that at a level that gave them credit for being the head coach of that sport, by raising it just a little bit above the assistant coaches. In middle school, we added an assistant track coach. So currently we have a head boys coach and a head girls coach. And if you know anything about coaching track, that is not enough supervision. Track is extremely dangerous. It takes it's spread out, and it takes a lot of supervision when you're talking about things like throwing the javelin. Kind of a thing we should pay attention to. So adding an assistant coach helps with supervision and paying attention to those athletes that are spread out all over the place at a track meet. The CSEP piece, we discovered that teachers were getting paid off of the teacher salary schedule, which was pretty significantly higher than others. And then the CSEP coaching scale was created for those non-faculty coaches that come in, they work other jobs during the day, and they come help us out as coaches in the afternoon. And this really came up because of our paraprofessionals. Every school has paras that have been there for 10, 15, 20 years, very loyal to the school, show up to work every day, and they help us out from time to time coaching. Because of the nature of their salary, they were getting paid much, much less than people who were coming in as non-faculty coaches. And when we discovered it, we felt it was unfair, and we wanted to balance that out. So if you're an assistant basketball coach and you're putting in all of the hours that it takes to do that, whether you're a teacher, a paraprofessional, or a CSEP coach, you're going to get paid at the same level. So I think that was all.
Also, I like the way the clubs, they're all easy too, you know, all of the increase, all the clubs. I saw that 0.075 or whatever. Yes.
We were able to do what he just described internally. That was not part of what we tasked the club to do, but while we were attacking all of these frankly inequities, we felt it appropriate to present to you a salary schedule that addressed what we're aware of. And if we see anything else, we'll bring it to you.
Let me see if we have any public comment first. Yes, ma'am, please step forward and say your name and your address.
I'm Shanna Yuritich here. I'm Shanna Yuritich, 466 Crossing North Street. I want to say I'm so excited as a community member, as an ex-teacher, as a parent, that we're getting closer and closer to what teachers who work so hard are worth. I think that is outstanding that this is being addressed. I just am wondering, I know I can't ask questions, but hoping that we can find out where to look at this information, at the numbers or whatever, but I'm super excited about all of it and think that you guys should hear that. It's just fabulous, fantastic. Thank you.
Any other comments from the public? Any board comments? Yes, okay, we're gonna go around the table.
I just wanted to say thanks to Mr. Martin and Ms. Email and the team that worked on taking the initiative to employ Leapfrog to take a really good hard look at this. I think that this is something that is really a long time coming, and I know that our staff, if they don't already know, are going to just really be happy when they see this. Also on the sports piece, I really appreciate, and I know that our paras who work really hard, and I can think of some off the top of my head for track, who work really, really hard during the track season. And because they're a para, they were making significantly less but doing the equal amount of work. So for them specifically, it's going to mean a lot and show that we do appreciate their efforts. So thank you.
Two things. One, I talked to a middle school dance coach last night, and she is ecstatic. Yes. Number two, when teachers get a step increase, do they get the step going into like August or is that the month or like going into the new school year?
Yes, ma'am.
So when they get their step, will it be the new approved?
Yes, ma'am. So really good question. So teachers are paid 12 times for work done through 9 months. When the school year begins in August, they get a check on August 20th, but that is not for work that was done in that school year. So the fiscal year begins July 1, but the first time that our teachers get paid for the work done in that school year is not until September 20th. So on September 20th, teachers will realize for the first time the pay changes made in this salary schedule. It is also the first time in a given pay period where they would realize any increase in pay as a result from a step increase.
So the ones that are, just say, for example, figuring out what they would be making now, say the 2% minimum,
Yes.
that's not included in the new step.
No.
Okay, so that'll be on top of that. So that, okay.
At a minimum, next year's pay for all employees will be 2% greater than last year's pay. That may be separate and apart from the calculation used to arrive at a step.
Okay, understood.
Is that correct, Ms. Ingram?
So not necessarily on top of that.
No.
I would also go to the salary schedule and see where they think they fall and how many years they had and see exactly what.
Knowing they'll get the new staff coming.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
It's so uncomplicated.
It is, especially not doing it.
I tell people all the time, all you have to do is see the people that we recognize every month, whether it's students or staff, whether it's academics, athletics, the arts, to see the work that the people in our district are doing. To see that we are being proactive and recognizing that and letting them know we appreciate what they're doing.
I would like to say, somewhat to answer your question, it's going to be published. So obviously, once we approve it, it's going to be published on the website. You can always go there and look at it. And obviously, all staff and teachers can go and look at it and make comparisons. And again, if there's a contradiction in between what they're getting and what it is, I'm sure. Again, we wanted to be transparent with this across the board, and I'm sure the lien floor proposal will also be made available publicly. So again, we're certainly out to be as transparent as possible. I would also say that I think it's a great opportunity for us to rank in our peer parishes in the top 2, 3, and across all adjustments in that. And so that's going to be huge to retain people, especially the people doing extracurriculars. That takes a lot of extra work in that, certainly. And so it's good to see the recognition through hopefully motivation and pay.
This just makes my heart very happy. I was here when it was the lean years. So this is so wonderful that we can do this for, like Juan said, those dedicated employees really are in the trenches day in and day out, and they need to be recognized, and we wanted to recognize them. We do recognize them, but recognizing them with pay is just a little step above. So I'm happy to do this for them.
So I just want to say that whenever Mr. Martin came to us with the idea of this lead rock study, I was a little leery about it. It did come with a price, but after the study was over and done, and we did our in-service on Monday, I could see the true value of doing this study. It makes my heart very happy that we can right some of the wrongs that we had in our pay system where we didn't quite have things, people where they needed to be. As a teacher, I do appreciate the ease of use and be able to go and just see, okay, here's my year of service. I know where I am. I know where I fall on this. And, when I first started my first year on the board, one of the reasons that I ran to be on this board was to make things better for people in the Pooch. And over the course of the 7 years that I've been sitting at this table, we have come such a long way. At the beginning of my first term, we never could have said that we would be comparable with people in our area. We could not say that we would compete with people in our immediate location. So this is just something that really means a whole lot to me. So we'll never be able to afford to pay the people what they really are truly worth that work in this district, but we can try our own.
Mr. Martin.
I just want to thank the superintendent and his team for the great work they have done. I've been on the board for 3 years, and every year I've been on the board, been taking consideration salary people. I think that says a lot about him, person that with vision going forward. So I just want to thank you and his team, and also not just leaning on the lean forward, finance, but also taking everybody into consideration, trying to make everybody happy. Thank you.
Thank you, Mark. And I would like to say one thing before we close. I know it's been a lot of talk about this, but I do think it's worth the words. Now that we have gone through the process of right sizing, the benefit to that is this endeavor, as you know, we've all been presented this many times. This endeavor is going to cost the school system an additional $5.7 million a year. This was all the chips we could push onto the table. But if next year this email allows me some more chips, the benefits to everyone across the board are going to be much more universal and much more felt. Because as an example, a 3% increase. If we were able to do 3% next year, that's just throwing a number out there, right? For a teacher making $50,000 a year, that's another $1,500 immediately, right? And that's going to be felt universally across all spectrums. So what was expensive in year one to pull off, we'll have some folks getting a number that rivals that. And it gets easier now that we've right-sided some folks that were 20% off. That was a big hole to fill that ate up a lot of your revenue. And so this year one lift was probably the heaviest lift, if that makes sense from a financial standpoint. And why I'm committed to next year coming back and back and back until she tells me I can't come.
And I would like to also thank you, Mr. Martin, and this email and the staff that worked so hard to find the revenues that we needed to get this done. And I'm just so excited about correcting the inequities that have been. We've been talking about teachers and staff, but you know, from our secretaries to our bus drivers to our maintenance people to the janitors in the school, everybody is going to see an increase in their pay. And I think that is just a fantastic thing that we as a board can do because of your hard work. And I'm very proud that I'm a part of it, that I can be a part of it after all these years, many lean years on the board. So thank you very much. Yes, Dr. Giat.
Well, I'd like to echo that as well. When I came onto the board, as we started talking about years, so when we first got on, I know we wasn't so many years removed from a RIF through the school district, some super lean times, some administrative positions removed, not replaced, and those types of things. And obviously, Ms. Hemel played a role in that. Ms. LaFawn played a role in that. When you can put together multiple years of increased fund balance, you get an opportunity to do something big like this. So I definitely want to say for the financial side of our business, that is tremendous. I've worked in organizations. I've been a treasurer for state organizations. And when you manage the books the way they need to be managed, you get opportunities to do things. And that's what this is. So thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
I was going to come back to say that, you know, you reap what you sow. And we so thank you for sowing these last few years so that we are able to do this, so that all of our employees can reap the benefits of you guys being fiscally responsible. So thank you.
Any other comments? Okay, then let's vote. No, we didn't vote. We're just so excited about this. Yay! Item 8, tentative dates for future meetings. Committee meetings, policy and academic committee, business committee, and land and facilities management committee on Wednesday, May 28th, 2025, and regular board meeting on Wednesday, June 4th, 2025. Before I adjourn the meeting, I would just like to thank our teachers, since this is Teacher Appreciation Week. I hope that you are having a wonderful week. I know it's testing, but just thank you for all of that you do for our students and keeping our parish going the way it is. Thank you very much, and with that, meeting is